I think with The Ultimate Fighter, a lot of people want to immediately talk to you about the Forrest Griffin fight, but I want to take it back before that. What was the audition like and the casting like for The Ultimate Fighter?
It was something I heard about, last minute in terms of like sending a tape in. I was at my jiu-jitsu school and guys were talking about it. And just the week before, I went to the Contender tryouts at the Windy City Boxing Gym.
Wow.
Frank Stallone was running them. And I went in there with a guy who was all juiced up on roids, but didn't know how to box. So I beat the shit out of him. And that was like the audition. And like, I was excited. I'm like, I'm going to probably make the show. I look great in there. And, in jiu-jitsu, they're talking about it. And they're like, hey, Bonnie, you think about going out for that show? The one the UFC's having, The Ultimate Fighter? I'm like, no, I tried out for it. But you're mistaken. That's a boxing show called The Contender, Stallone, Sugar Ray. No, the UFC's doing one. No way. So go home that night and go to UFC.tv. That's before they even owned UFC.com. And that's before I couldn't have done it there at school. It's before phones were that good.
Yeah.
You could just look it up there. And sure enough, they're having a show. Audition tapes due Friday. And they just wanted your fights on a tape with and then a little interview, just like you, a little bio, a little you just telling a 2-minute spiel about yourself. So that's what I put together and sent in. And, I looked, it was like Tuesday. Tapes were due Friday, so I had to overnight it.
And this is a VHS tape.
VHS, baby. Yep. And that's how I got the original call. I had a good record. My only loss was the cut to Machida. I think it was like 7-1. And, I got the call that they're going to have us out for castings week. And that was my first time out to Vegas. They locked us in the Palace Station for a week. Like, weren't allowed to leave. I was just looking out the windows every night at all the fun that was going on. And they took you for like all your medicals and the drug tests and did a background check and then, did some on-camera interviews with you. And from there, they had like 40 guys out. And from there, they narrowed it down to the 16 that you saw on the show.
Wow.
So that was pretty much the whole process of getting on. And then me and Bobby Southworth, we went to do medicals together. And right before that, I still have the poster and the Ironheart crown. I was champion. I was supposed to fight Bobby, defend my title. And we had a fight scheduled while we were on The Ultimate Fighter. So here we are on The Ultimate Fighter getting the medicals done. And like not knowing, I'm like, oh, you're Bobby Southworth? Yeah, we're supposed to fight. Well, fight might not happen if we're on this show. I'm like, well, if we're on the show, the fight might happen, And sure enough, we both got chosen for the show, and we had a tough fight, that first fight of mine, and I won a close one. And really what I attribute the win to getting a bad staph infection. If I wouldn't have got that staph infection, I wouldn't have won that fight. On the show,
How does that work?
There was an impetigo outbreak. If you notice, I'm not in the episode at all where everyone got taken out for a night on the town and got drunk and the drama happened between Lieben and Bobby Southworth and Koscheck.
Yeah.
I was nowhere to be found that episode. And another episode, too, barely in it. That's because there was a staph outbreak and I ended up getting the worst of it. I had an impetigo pretty good. And, they gave me a couple, like, high-powered antibiotic shots and give me like a Z-Pack, and they went and locked me up in the Hacienda Hotel over by the Hoover Dam for a couple days.
Man.
But like Randy Couture had overtrained us so bad, like I wasn't able to sleep. I was shaking. I was dog shit. I was so weak. Like he killed us. Like the amount of volume that guy could handle training is just nothing short of amazing. All of us, a lot of the guys were really beat up and overtrained. And had I like just had to fight Bobby and continued training those next couple days with the team, like there's no way I would have been able to pull it off.
So that gave you the rest that you needed.
Staph infection gave me a couple days to let my body recover. And I remember coming back and getting under the bench with like 135 and it felt like a feather. And I was like, yes. And they're like, oh my God, Bonnar, you won't believe what happened. Oh, Koscheck and Bobby with Lieben and sprayed him with the hose after we went out and all hell broke loose and Lieben smashed up the house. You have to fight Bobby. You have to break up him and Koscheck. Those two together are the biggest assholes. And it was true. Like, either of those guys on their own, I got along with no problem. But when they were just together, they had this like obnoxious aura that just came out of them that made it hard to deal with. And we got to break those two up. We got to get Bobby out of the house. And I'm like, well, it's not really my fight to fight, but like we had a poster made. I was supposed to fight the dude anyway. So I just looked at him like, he's my guy. Like, God wants me to fight him.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's do it. So I chose him to fight, and the rest is history.
Did you know when you got on the show that Forrest Griffin was someone to watch out for?
No, I didn't know who he was or anything. But yeah, after
when you see him training, did you go, oh wow?
After a couple of days, Chuck picked Bobby first, so everyone thought Bobby was the most talented. Even Forrest, he kind of, Bobby kind of coached him in a way, like big brothered him. That's kind of Bobby's attitude. So Forrest kind of didn't realize he was probably better than Bobby, I think. That's how I've kind of viewed it. So he was like the team captain and the first pick. And, it's just the first few days. So, you really don't know yet. So he was really the guy to beat. But I knew, just from the first few days, me and Forrest were going at it a little bit. And we even got headbutts, and I got a cut. So I knew, he was no joke. And I knew for his first fight ever, he fought Dan Severn, which I thought freaking hilarious. I'm like, wow, how ballsy! Your first fight ever, wow, a heavyweight, it's impressive.
I don't know. Did he win that fight?
No, he lost a decision, but Severn just took him down and pretty much.
He outsized him, right?
Yeah, just won with his wrestling. Didn't hurt him or anything. Forrest just played guard.
Man, at any point during that epic match with Forrest Griffin, did you think that you were going to win that match?
Yeah, in the second round, when I almost had him out of there, I really, I remember it so clearly. We were in the clinch, and I broke his nose. I landed some good shots, and from the clinch, I just drilled him with the perfect knee, and then a short right hand, and he slumped back towards the cage, and oh my God, that was it. I got a little adrenaline burst, a burst. This is it. You got to put him away. You got to knock him out. And I lunged in and do a jumping right hand that just missed. And he was able to tie my arms up. And I remember when I wiggled and got my arms free, I went to punch him again, and it just hit me I had nothing left, nothing. I couldn't even lift my arms up. I was so dead dog tired. And then from there, I was just running on fumes. So, the third round I thought was a coin toss. And looking back on it, though, a lot of people come up to me and try to be nice and say, oh, I thought you won that fight. I thought you won that fight. But the reality of it, the way I look at it is the right person won that night. That was the perfect storybook ending. If you remember, when Forrest loses a decision or, he doesn't do too well with defeat. He's known to run out the octagon crying. Or when he beat Tito the last time, he ran out the octagon throwing a temper tantrum, and they had to call him back in to tell him he won the split decision. So, had I won that night, it might not have been the nice feel-good storybook ending that we had. And I think that was really important because it was all about putting the sport over and getting the sport to be accepted. And it was, and the ending was perfect, beautiful, and I wouldn't change it.
Hey, it's Chris, and thank you so much for checking out this video on my CVV Clips channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd be so grateful if you could do that right now. Don't worry, the main channel is not going anywhere. We've got full, in-depth interviews on the Chris Van Vliet channel. CVV Clips is for exactly that, clips from those longer interviews.